Where's the subscriptions?
Where?
Never mind who this is. Where's the subscriptions?
Don't worry about me.
It's your boy Troy the boy here. It's your boy. And y'all ain't subscribed. I can't even introduce my company first because you ain't subscribed first.
Damn shame.
Go and hit the subscribe button. Clink. I know I done did something for somebody. All you got to do is press it. It's not like you got to put your credit card in. So please press the subscribe button. And now we can get on with the show.
Alright.
This your boy Troy the boy. Welcome back to the channel. As y'all can see, I went ahead and brought me a guest on. Y'all know I had to do a little something. I am gonna go ahead and let my guest introduce himself.
Alright, my name is Carter, aka Apollo on Earth on Instagram. 26-year-old trans man, Puerto Rican, born in Puerto Rico, came to the States, grew up, and met Troy in high school, Warrensville High School.
Yes! I know Carter from high school.
Yeah.
I know you guys, what you guys are thinking. Was I this popular and just this amazing in high school? And I was. I was. They loved me. But yes, I know Carter from high school. We about to chop it up. Just see what's going on. I wanted to bring something new to the channel. I know I usually do my hair and everything like that. I be chilling and we be talking it up and stuff, and you know, but I wanted to bring somebody else on. If I just back it on up a little bit, I brought Carter on because about 3 years ago, I ended up making a post on Facebook, and basically the post said something to the extent of like I didn't know how to support the trans community because I did not understand, and I felt like it was like people were just coming out and saying you know, that they were not the gender that they were born in. They came up and said I was born a man and I'm actually a woman in the inside, like, and y'all don't know. And I was like, well, I need some more information because I didn't know what, I'm like, there ain't nobody told me nothing. Nah, like, I mean, you can't just say that. But this was 3 years ago or so, whatever. So, anywho, when I made the post, Carter had hit me up on the post and was like, well, basically, I don't know if you remember the post or what you said.
Yeah, a little bit of like, if you just want to have a conversation to like let you know more information about it, I'm down to talk, because I'm tired of people like walking around all saying all types of crazy shit all the time. It's like, just take the time to sit down and talk. You never know what you're gonna find out.
You can ask somebody some questions.
It's okay. Like, we're not gonna bite. Like, we're still human. Like, you don't just turn into aliens overnight or some shit. It's like you can literally just come talk to us and be like, oh, what's this like? What that's like? And some of us will just answer you straight up.
Anywho, so Carter hit me up on the post and ooh, my breath probably stinks. I did not brush my teeth. Hold on, we might have to take your interview. So you're Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Obviously your family is Puerto Rican.
The Dominican more.
Dominican.
Yeah.
Your family is more Dominican.
Yeah.
How is that?
That is a rough mixture, because there's like a little bit of beef between two cultures for no reason. But it's definitely just the Spanish version of being black, honestly. Like the strictness, the expectations, especially a lot of my family, we migrated here in like the 90s and 80s.
Okay.
So a lot of us like first, second generation immigrants. So to come to this country and having to, you know, work your way up the ladder and kind of still get treated as a black person along the way. Like, people look at you, they think things about you. Definitely, as soon as I say I'm Spanish, you know, you Mexican, it's like, no, you know, it's a whole different feel, you know what I'm saying? So,
for some reason when you said, what'd you say?
Like, we're just the black, like, Spanish people, basically.
Black Spanish people. For some reason that reminds me of the Proud family.
Yeah.
And their neighbors.
Yeah.
The Boulevardes.
Yeah.
The Boulevardes.
And you see how, like, those cultures still mess with each other. Like,
they were best friends.
They were best friends.
The Boulevardes.
I'm like, man, if the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans and the black people just came together.
Oh my God. Okay. How is that being trans with your family? Like your mom, dad?
I mean,
like...
my mom has been nothing but supportive. Not saying that it was easy. She definitely has had to go through a mental process. My dad, I have a stepdad and my birth father. They've both been supportive, but it just takes people time to get there. So like, if anybody's like in the middle of like coming out and you can't really see that light at the end of the tunnel, you have to like be realistic and look at the fact that they've known you as this one person for up until the age you came out as. So it's like learning somebody completely new, and it's almost like a grieving process for them because somebody else to them has died.
Yeah.
Essentially, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not that person, I'm this person, but which is really the me I've always wanted to be. I just couldn't be this person. So this old character has to die off for you, and then you have to kind of get over that and then embrace the new me. But being in a Hispanic family and being raised Catholic, oh, I was scared half to death.
I would think so.
Oh my! Every day, my heart was beating out of my chest to think if they seen what I seen in myself, because I knew by the time I was like 2-3 things were just not making sense. I'm like, this feminine energy is not for me. I don't resonate with that. And then that was uncomfortable. And I remember the feeling of just being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you day by day exactly, but I can remember specific times in my life where I was like, man, this shit ain't it. Like, this is not me. But then I remember being in the masculine energy and dressing like a boy and thinking to myself like a boy, and I felt freedom.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I felt relief. I was like, oh, this is where I want to be. I just want to be outside with the boys. And nothing wrong with like boys that like playing with Barbies or anything like that. But something about
Lord knows I play with me some Barbies. I was in that mug like
right, and to each his own.
Crack the knees, crack the knees. But where my Barbie players at? We know your Barbie ain't popping if the knees ain't popping. People used to have them cheap Barbies with the I don't know, them little paraplegic legs and stuff. Like I'm not with those Barbies, but a real Barbie, I don't know if it's a real Barbie, but the real Barbie, the knees popped.
I was in the complete opposite realm of that. I didn't want nothing to do with that, and not because, like I said, I thought a boy playing with it was wrong. I just really was like, this is not for me and the gender that I feel.
Did your mom like have like a lot of questions when you told her?
No, because the thing was, like we talked about, it wasn't too much of a shock. Even my birth father, he told me, he was like, I was really cool with just having a lesbian daughter. And I was like, yeah, you're okay with that. That's just not, I really was. I had to like grow out of that essentially, because that was the safest thing. That's the safest thing I could say. I couldn't say, you know, hey, I'm a guy. I could at least tell you that I want to date women. But to me, that was never something that felt like, even in a lesbian way to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I never felt that energy, at least for me. It took them a minute, but I always tell them, I was like, if you look back on my childhood, you can see it. Because the rest of my family and my friends are like, I mean, shit, that makes a lot more sense than honestly than what you were trying to portray. Like you can see that you were unhappy in how you used to be. And now that you're Carter, it's like, oh, this is who you really are.
Your real self. Like,
you're
not that, this ain't that BS that you was giving us before.
It wasn't that. It was, this is literally who I am now. I seen flashes of it, like I said, early on. I know the biggest flash for me was when, I told you I was sick for a little bit.
Right.
And I had a kidney disease, and they had just treated it with chemo. Like I had cancer, but they treated it aggressively. Right. I was in Cleveland Clinic, and that's actually the only reason I'm here. So shout out to Cleveland Clinic. But I had to cut my hair off because I was losing it. So when I cut my hair off, I named myself Domingo. And I told everybody, call me a boy. I taught myself how to pee standing up in this body. So you know what I'm saying? Like I fully for the first time got to just be myself. Man, I had a blast when I cut my hair.
And so you did all in the hospital?
No, they cut my hair at home. I remember going home and my whole family was kind of around. Cause it was kind of like a big deal. Like my grandmother on my dad's side still has one of my braids to this day.
Really?
Man, Hispanic people keep on this stuff way too long. It was at home, and a friend of the family just came over and cut my hair, and I had my little afro, my little one-go earring.
Watch out for yourself.
Right, on some voodoo shit.
No, for real. So yeah, you might want to get your braid back.
Lesson of the story is don't let your family members keep your hair.
Yeah. Back to the regular schedule programming. So what about dating? So do you date?
Yes, I am currently in a relationship.
Okay.
Actually, I was talking to a friend of mine. His name is Aiden. He's also a trans guy, and we were talking about dating and how really it sums up as a needle in a haystack. Because the thing about dating as a trans person, you can't go back. Like, let's say you associated yourself as lesbian or gay. You can't go back to the lesbian and gay community because they want the same gender and the same sex, essentially. So when you start to transition, you lose some of the things that they wanted. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be mad at a lesbian or a gay man for saying, I'm not interested anymore, that's not my thing. So you kind of can't go back to the old community. And then if you go to a cis man or cis woman, like a regular straight man or woman, it's a very big chance, like a very big risk, I should say. Like, because you don't know if they would, even if they look at you, it's like, then I have to tell you, like, look, I know everything when I'm giving off to you is real. It just doesn't match my physical body.
Right.
And some people be like, oh, I don't care, because maybe they had curiosity. So some people see it as, I get to have the best of both worlds. It's like, oh, okay, I can still get the masculine or feminine energy, but then have something physical different, which is actually something that some people are more attracted to. They just can't really come out and say that. So for some people, we kind of end up being the best of both worlds. But to find somebody like that,
I would think that would be very hard.
Man, it's rare.
But see, at the same time, people still like to be keeping stuff on the low and things like that. I would think that, do you have to deal with stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. I've had to deal with people that were ashamed, basically, of like people knowing that I'm trans, and I'm just like, if you're ashamed of me, or like even being my friend, like I've definitely lost hella friends off the strength that they couldn't stand up when I needed somebody to stand up for me. Not that, like, if we're in the same room, I will correct somebody if the pronoun is off, or if they call me by my own name, I will remind them. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm not there, is what y'all saying behind my back, and it's like to know like that no matter what, that you gonna be like, hey, no, he goes by Carter now. That's what I need when I'm not around. So when people not giving me that energy, and especially in a relationship, it's like I can't rock with you, because I'm not somebody that wants to be hidden. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you don't have to. I don't have to. The first thing, I don't introduce myself as, hey, I'm trans. No, if people find out, if somebody's having a conversation, I will let them know. In a romantic relationship, I upfront let them know, hey, this is what you're gonna get yourself into. And if you're ashamed of that, you have some work to do with yourself. Why are you not happy? Why are you ashamed of yourself for liking someone like me? Because that's not normal to you. But that don't mean it's not. It's that something's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been brainwashed for so long to be sexually closed off to each other. Like, now coming out is a thing.
Does it get to a point where they're not willing to put themselves out there and let other people know, and so they just try to keep it a sex thing or something? Like, does it start to feel like that?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Like a fetish kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah. There are some people that have, especially, I have encountered it for, being a trans man. I've had conversations with a trans man. Like, yeah, there is that weird cluster of people that have that fetish, but it's very much so for trans women. Trans women have it a lot harder in that aspect, because think about how
male to female,
how more women are naturally, for some reason, what I find is acceptable to try something with another woman for some reason. Men are a lot more hesitant to do that, because they see being as gay as weak and all of that.
It's like a bad thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to them, it's a bad thing. And it's like, it really don't matter. But so they see a trans woman as an escape. I don't have to face everything that I really want. Not that they're not attracted to as trans women, because that, like I said, it could be the best of both worlds for somebody. But for some people, they use it to really not even want to sleep with the actual man. Like, okay, well, you're a trans woman, so I get a pass. You're still a woman. It's like, no, you know what you really are attracted to. So sometimes they use this for psychological, emotional warfare that they have within themselves.
It's so funny that you say that, because a part of me almost be feeling like the trans female community like has like stepped into my territory a little bit, like, because it's like some dudes will look at me and feel like I have like feminine features or something, and I've had dudes that will kind of like basically in a way insinuate that they want, do I ever want to be a woman, or what, did I ever think about getting a boob job, all types of little stuff. And but they're like, in my head I'd be feeling like they're in, like that's what guys are attracted to these days, in my opinion. Like, I'd be like, they're not attracted to, they don't be wanting another man. You really be wanting, you're attracted to a trans woman. That's what you like. Like, and nothing's wrong with that. But for some reason, I almost feel like when I be saying it, it's like when black women used to say, like, all them white women taking all our good men.
Right.
Look at all them white women
Right.
taking all our good men, all our black kings, and all this other stuff. And now here I'm over here like, look at all these trans women coming out, taking all our damn gay men.
It's totally acceptable because there's men that feel like that about trans men.
Right.
I remember in high school alone coming out as gay. A lot of guys in high school were bothered by me because I was so cool. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was laid back. I was minding my business, but I had no problem having a conversation with a person here and there. So I make people laugh, whatever, I'm cool, and they automatically feel threatened by like, wait a minute. We already got to deal with men. Now we got to deal with y'all coming in here. So now being a trans man, they're really like, wait a minute. Now you want to call yourself a man and do all of this stuff and take our women? Like, it's a pull from both sides, but it's like, that's the thing. I think that's what trans people are here to do, is to awaken people and make them realize that it's not about what you thought was normal or attracted to, that people have a lot more desires, wants, and needs, and could be more explorative in themselves and be with a whole bunch of different kind of people. Like, I think it's gonna open up people more to just a different kind of lifestyle, and it won't be so out of the norm.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
It's very interesting when someone is not privy to a certain lifestyle. Whether that be the rich and famous, gay, straight. A lot of times, I am infatuated sometimes with talking to straight people. Because I don't live a straight life. That's what I call it. Straight life, gay life, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I'm not straight. So when I be asking them questions like, how do you and a woman even start having sex?
Right, like
stuff?
how do you
Who
get
does
that?
it? Does she say, like, take it?
Right.
Like, what's the... Because I've never, I've had a girlfriend in the past, but I've never had sex with a woman, ever. Like, and so, it's like, and I've never wanted to. Don't get me wrong, guys. Sometimes I be thinking like, you know what, shit. I'm a little old now. But never say never. But no, I used to I got the talking jokes and shit. What was I saying about it? I'll be asking them all types of questions. If they marry everything, I'll be like, how do you cheat on your wife? Or have y'all ever had any infidelity? Was it because that lifestyle, that is not something that I live. And so when I hear guys talking about different women and stuff and all this other, I'd be like, what? One time I remember I was talking to my cousins and stuff, and they were telling me about how they do have sex with the strippers and stuff. And I was like, what? I said, I thought you couldn't even touch them. And they said, hell no. He said, no, you can have sex with them. You
pay them enough.
Yeah, he like, no, man, dudes have sex with strippers all the time. That man, no. He like, they'll have parties and they come through. I'm like, what? Like,
it's a whole nother world.
It's so exciting to be able to get a glimpse of that.
My thing with even approaching someone, I love to be upfront. I don't have to put it on full blast and display all the time, but it's just to let you know, like, hey, this is what comes with me. But I kind of try to get a vibe of a woman before I even attempt. I say things to have certain conversations to see where your mindset is at. So I asked her, hey, how do you feel about spirituality in the LGBTQ plus community? Kind of to see where her vibe was at.
It's not settled.
But we were already having like a conversation. Right. It wasn't like I was like first question.
I thought that was the.
No. It was like we was like messaging back and forth.
Before I even started, I like to. That's game. Damn.
Right.
I'm not. I don't know if that. So the first one.
No, I was already messaging her a little bit.
Okay.
And then I was like, hey, how do you feel about this subject?
Okay.
Once we already had like discussed prior things that we liked or whatever.
Right.
And she was kind of just like, I'm accepting of all people, but she didn't was like, yeah, I'm part of that community. She just said I'm accepting. So I said, okay, so an ally. So that's like, it's not a goal, but it's like a
I'm cool.
Cool, whatever.
What's that?
But what I actually liked about her is that most times I have to let it be known that I'm interested and I have to put it out there. Once I told her I was trans, I'm like, yeah, because spirituality, and people kind of get a little bit not scared of people being in the LGBT community, being in the spirituality community, but it's like a clash a little bit. Yeah. Some people don't respect people that live in our community or whatever for whatever reason. Because some people, even though they're spiritual, they still hold on to like old Christian values for whatever reason. So it's like they can't vibe with us. Right. But she kind of just made the room open and comfortable to discuss myself. And immediately she didn't push me off or nothing. She just thought we were gonna be friends or whatever. But then after keep talking to each other and getting to know each other, I don't know, something in her energy, she was just like, this is what I want, and she kind of made it be known, like, I'm accepting of this. And when we finally met face to face and had our conversation, it was just out in the open, I'm cool, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, so there's some women that may have had a curiosity, and like I said, sometimes, and then you meet somebody like me that's right in the middle. It's like, damn, I get the masculine and the feminine energy at the same time. So it gives them a sense of comfortability in it as well. Because I hear a lot of women say, I can't date a woman. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it, but I want that love, but I don't want to date a woman. So then they go to studs and they're still like, that ain't it.
Some love.
Right, and then they find a trans man, they're like, It's like a man that understands what it's like to be a woman, and that gives women a whole nother level of comfort that some men you just can't get. I've always said to myself that I feel like an undercover agent, being able to be in this body, have this mind, and experience this life. It's like, damn, I got the ins and I got the cheat codes for how it really should be. You know what I'm saying?
Do you get backlash from studs and stuff, like you said, just like the guys, that you said, be like, oh well, here it is, here you go, taking all our women.
Right.
Do you get studs from? Do you get backlash from other people in the gay community?
Well, not that I've confronted. Nobody's ever came to me and said anything. I'm pretty sure. Well, that's because I'm also not that much associated with I like to stay to myself because the Cleveland community. Anyway, I like this. I was telling my girlfriend, was it last night or the night before? I said, me being trans, when I tell you that is the last part of me, that has literally nothing to do with how I treat people, how my work ethic is, how smart I am, how talented I may be at some things, or whatever you want to call it. That has nothing to do with how I love people, why I love people the way I do. It's just, I'm just letting you know to address me by a certain gender. That's all I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? And by the way, people, transgendered and transsexual is two different things. Transgender is somebody that associates himself with the male or female gender. Right. But transsexual, they go ahead and get the surgeries and the cosmetic things. So, just to clarify, I don't want anybody to get too angry or whatever.
Which I think the two words together should, you know what I'm saying? Transsexual. That's obviously a bigger step than a transgender.
Right. And it's a whole different ballpark.
We don't say, do you want to have gender with each other?
Right. Exactly. But people say some really ridiculous things, and I remember having to sit down with my parents, and it's uncomfortable having to sit down with them and be like, look, I need you to, at least in public, get your shit together, essentially. I had to tell my family, especially we're in public, look, we like to going out to eat. You know what I'm saying? Y'all like going to these places and these bars, and I'm not saying one race is more particularly harsh than the other, but I have found that white people get more offended when it comes to trans man issues, and for some reason black people get more offended when it comes to trans women issues. That's one thing I have.
Really?
That's one thing I have seen for myself.
And that's some real. When you go in a room when the air has changed.
You know, somebody peeping, somebody looking too
hard.
Yeah,
I am a unicorn. A unicorn has walked in the room. That's what I just named myself. I'll be like, okay, it's unicorn time.
Right.
It's because I'm definitely not no elephant. I am. Y'all looking at me like I'm majestic or like I just like I orbed here or something.
Right.
So now time to put them, because I gets real. I'll be like, oh, well, let me Shrek then, and let me look good then. Because y'all, I need to be as confident as I can up in here now. Y'all wonder where it came from? It came from y'all staring at me.
Right. And the thing is, like, when I tell my mom and my dad, you know, I was just like, look, especially with me meeting new people, also welcoming new people in my life, it's like, they know me as Carter, and they know me as he. The psychological warfare that happens when people mess up a pronoun out of comfortability or forgetfulness is a really big effect in the room that anybody energy shifts, because but a lot of times people can't tell that I'm trans. They'll be like, I just thought you were a guy, like exactly like I'm trying to portray.
I think if somebody messed up, it'll be like
right, and then everybody, I can feel everybody thinking too hard about it. And then after somebody messes up, it's like it takes them a really long time to come back from it. And then I always tell them, I say, yo,
you like, then you start sweating.
Right. And I start turning red because, you know, I'm light skinned and shit. So I'm getting hot, I'm uncomfortable. But then also the not the fear, because I'm not scared of anybody.
Right.
But I don't want to put my family in an uncomfortable situation. Right. And I don't want for them to be like, yeah, she, and they look at me like, you talking about him? Wait, that used to be a she, and then all of a sudden you got something coming out they back for. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that could literally happen at any point in time. Right. So like when it comes to living this lifestyle, you have to educate your family and your friends. Yes. And it's
especially if you're going out together. That's with anything. You be like, wait a minute, we gonna fight together? Or you running?
Yeah.
Because if we're gonna be still hanging out,
and that's why
I plan on hanging out with y'all.
That's why my crew is exactly who it is. Yeah. Like it's my 3 or 4 that I know that like.
That's real. Like, I got to tell y'all, hello, I don't like being when we go out and this happen.
Yo, I got Jocelyn, that's my dog. Shout out to her and BC Botanicals. Go shop, get that soap. Baby Cakes, also get y'all edibles popping. And then you know we got
locally made.
We got my dog Mojo Jojo. Yeah. With the Charm Mafia.
Charm Mafia up in here.
You know what I'm saying? And then my girl, she got my back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's important.
And it's funny that it happens to be all females. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that out of them, because at any point in time, though, hey, who you talking about? Who you talking to? You know, show some respect. Like they don't hide me. They don't shame me. Like those are my people. And it goes further. But that's just like my 3 men.
Yeah, you gotta have a good support.
You know what I'm saying?
System.
But everybody else, like my cousins and stuff like that, they support me. I'm lucky to be in this position.
Right.
But I still had to work my ass off. You know what I'm saying? I still had to demand that respect when I came in the room. Like I remember having to like break one of my uncles down. I was like, look, I need you to answer a question. When you look at me, what do you see? Do you see a man? Do you see a woman? If you didn't know me, he was like, I see a man. I said, then why in the hell do you still say she when you talk to me? Oh, because you were my little. I've been grown.
Right.
So I'm saying like, and I came out to y'all like over 5 years ago. I've been grown,
pissed.
and I've had enough. I'm saying, I'm like, I'm tired. I show y'all respect. You know what I'm saying? I let y'all have y'all years to get adjusted, but I'm tired. I came out for a reason, was because I was tired of being called the wrong pronoun. So letting y'all continuously slide, unless you're my mother, you don't get that privilege.
Right.
You do not. And my mom is the reason why I even have my name legally changed. Like, she's been completely supportive. So it's like, if my mom is on board, I need you to fall in line. Yeah. And then that way you command that respect. And ever since then, bro ain't slipped up.
Oh, see, that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? Bro ain't slipped up. It's been, hey, how you doing, Carter? What's up, nephew? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
What I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? You're meeting Carter. Treat me as Carter. Yeah. Stop trying to see what you wanted to see.
Because like I said, it's okay to start anew.
Start anew. Because people, like I said, have this emotional attachment to gender. Yeah. Like, oh, it's a boy, it's a girl. I remember seeing this post on Facebook, and me and one of my friends from high school, David, was going back and forth at it. And I was like, I'm sorry, but when my kid is born, I'm not going to just automatically put them in blue and pink. I'm going to let them explore and let them tell me what they like. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair to automatically just say, I'm going to buy you every truck and every superhero toy and every Batman and Superman thing because you're a boy. I don't know what you like. I'm just telling you automatically, like what they did to us, brainwash, saying this is what you like because this is what comes with being a boy. And it's like, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as we see a boy playing with the Barbie, stop that, that's girl. Like, okay, well, that's just feminine. What's wrong with being that way, though? You know what I'm saying? So
completely just like you said, it's taken me a lot to. I'm still working on
Yeah.
breaking out of that because I still be looking at stuff like gay is bad. And I'm like, damn, like it's so messed up that so many years has had this toll on me to the point where now I've had to recondition myself to make sure that when I look at another individual doing their thing and living their truth, that I have to have two voices, that one pop in and be like, what's going on? And then the other one be like, it don't matter. They do whatever they want.
Exactly.
Why do you think that, now I had understood why the pronouns, why you and the other trans people in the community will obviously need the pronouns to be a certain way. Why do you think that they had to make, because I just found out cis man and cis this, and why do you think that they had to make something, because that will, well, I guess that's not, is that straight people?
Yeah, that's not straight people, but more of naturally born man and woman.
Okay, so it's not, so it's not, it's
no,
not.
No, like your sexual orientation, nothing like that.
That's taken out of it.
Yeah, it's literally just saying that.
I'm a cis man.
Yeah, so you would be a cis man.
Why do you think they had to do that?
Because at least for me, speaking for me, and some other people I spoke to, yeah, saying you're trans man, trans woman is cool, but we really don't want the trans tag.
That's what
a lot of times I want to cut that off. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say I'm a man. Like, that's a woman. Like, shouldn't have to describe what kind of man, but we have these labels for each other. So to make everybody feel a little bit more equal, I feel like there was cis man, and trans man, because if, you know what I'm saying, that's not fair that that's the only man and then that's the only woman when it's not. So it just kind of gave everybody a label to kind of even out the balance.
Okay, that makes sense. But I guess because that would kind of be against, if you did just try to be like, oh, I'm just a man, I'm just this, that's kind of negating the whole purpose of what you were saying of being whatever you think, whatever you are. I don't think it's that deep for me to be thinking about.
It's really not. But people lose sleep. They make groups. They make hate groups. They publicly discriminate. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll let you be known that your kind is not welcome here, and it's like, my kind, like, because of who I choose to call myself and who I choose to sleep with, that bothers your income, your mental health, your physical health, your children's lives in what shape or form? It doesn't.
Not even a little bit.
Not literally. Not your life will not ever change because of the gender I decide to. Like, it has no effect at all. Like I'm saying, like, I mind my business. I don't care what you do. Because the crazy part, the people that judge us the hardest really are the weirdos. They be doing the most crazy stuff.
I think so too.
I mean, like, y'all really weird. Like,
it's so odd that I think the same thing. What's so crazy is growing up, I never thought anything was wrong with me. Like, as much as people would say, like, gay and faggot and all this other stuff, I never thought anything was wrong with me. I never thought, like, what is wrong with me? Like, why can't I be like this? I wanted to experience some straight shit, but or I wanted to experience some straight things, but I never thought something was wrong with me. Like, even though I never thought anything was wrong with me, but for some reason, when I look at gay things, sometimes with people in the community, I think something is wrong with them. And I'm like, dang, like, how, like, look how I've been programmed to think gay is so wrong. And I'm gay myself. And then and then I've been told it's so bad that when I look at somebody else that's gay or see something that's more feminine or something like that, now I have this feeling within me that's not good. And I'm like, I had to grow out of that, or and I'm still working on that. Like, cause I didn't just wake up and be like, oh, it's all alleviated. It was years of telling me that gay is bad. Like, I just think I'm comfortable with myself, but I'm not necessarily comfortable with the world that's around me completely. Like, I had to make changes within myself because I was told certain things, by people, by the world, by television, whatever it was. I was influenced to know that gay was not a great thing. But I've never thought something was wrong with me, ever. And I'm glad that I never had that thought, because I'm sure people have all types of thoughts of,
for real. It took me a while, just when me telling myself that I was trans. You got to tell yourself first. Of all people, you got to, like, look yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, this is who I see. This is who I am. and I had to deprogram my brain and reprogram it with what I wanted to hear and what I wanted to see. And it takes a really long time because I grew up hating the gay community. I grew up thinking trans were the biggest freaks in the world. Like, I was legit scared of trans people because I didn't know what I was going to run into. I thought they were all going to be types of fairies and unicorns with weird boobs or something hanging out, like
Three
the,
boobs,
you know what I'm saying, like
yeah.
the most ridiculous thing.
Stuff.
And it was like, no, the weird ones are the ones that get up in the business suits and tell you how to live your life. Those are the weird ones.
Yeah.
So having to get all of that out of me, and like you said, being comfortable with the world around you, because I still had to like get comfortable with other trans people. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't mess up.
Right.
I've messed up with people like, he should, my bad. And that, but that also makes me more like, it makes me noble, because then I understand where people are coming from when they address me. So like, it increases my patience every time that it happens. But going through that process is, man, it's pretty damn tough. People will say to me not all the time, but I've heard people, you know, talk behind me like, why would they do that? And you don't need to change, and you're fine just the way you are. And it's like, it's not about what you see or what you feel, because it makes your eyes more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with people, I've dated them and said, I don't want you to keep transitioning. Like, I don't want you to go forward. If you were to have a sexual reconstruction surgery, I would not be with you. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't have it, we can't be together. And that's even more hurtful.
Damn.
It's like, damn, wait a minute. Because it's not a guarantee that every trans man or woman wants to go through with the surgery.
And that's why I think the fetish thing be coming in.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
So maybe you only wanted me for my body.
Or you only wanted me for my energy, in a sense, and you want me to conform physically to that to match it, but it doesn't have to match. You still get what you need out of a person, but if you're not comfortably sexually with that person, then why are you even messing? You know what I'm saying?
You can
like,
mess with a whole other person that
you could go mess
all
with
your boxes.
Right, go with a cis man and everything that you want, or go with a cis woman and get everything you want, but don't come over here telling me how I should and shouldn't be. And when are you gonna start testosterone or your drugs? When are you gonna get this top surgery? When are you gonna get a bottom surgery? Why does it matter if you're with me for me?
Do people have you been asked that a lot?
Yeah, I've been asked, like, so you're gonna get your top done, or you're gonna get a bottom, like, and from friends and family, just want to know, honestly. But from relationships, yeah, and they've told me like, well, if you do this, we can't be together. If you don't do this, we can't be together. So it's like, well, I don't need to be with you, because what if one day I've just decide I don't want to keep going further? Like, me, honestly, I don't see myself going, like, I want to work naturally on my chest, because I've seen other trans men like naturally work their chest off. But as far as everything else, I'm actually pretty comfortable in my position and in this body. I don't see anything wrong with it. And to transition to the other side, to me, a lot of other trans men feel differently. They have to go through that process to conquer that dysphoria.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some people, like, they're like, oh, I need the bottom done. I need the top done. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I have been on a spiritual journey where, if anything, my feminine energy has given me more power. Honestly, it's allowed me to see things in a different light. And I don't want to take that away from myself, because I feel like I have some kind of other mission to give to the world.
Okay.
And by changing completely, for me, would not do it justice to what I really need to do.
Do you think changing would take away from yourself?
Yeah, a little bit, because I know that I would never really truly be satisfied. Because there's like two options. Either, and I'm gonna be very blunt, either you get a really, really small dick.
Yes, you do.
Which is about 3 inches of your own skin.
Right.
Or you essentially get like a prosthetic that's like 7, 8. You get whatever size you want, but you can't feel the damn thing.
Can you feel anything?
You can't feel the damn thing.
Okay, I was like,
so it's like, well, either way, I'm not going to be truly happy, at least for me.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, I learned to work with what I got. As long as you address me properly, I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with being who I am. I see myself as handsome, you know what I'm saying? I see myself...
Yeah, you're cute.
Yeah, thank you. Being myself, just more confident, more just in myself, loving myself, being myself. I don't have to go all the way to me. This is fine if I stop right here, right now. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But everybody's different. But as long as
being honest with yourself.
Yeah, but as long as you know where you want to go, you know who you are.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
It don't matter what anybody else got to say about you. You don't know who you are. Fuck.
Do you think other trans men will look down on you for not going on the way?
Oh yeah, I know that, but that's their journey because maybe they ran away. They could have possibly. I don't want to say. I don't know exactly what somebody's thinking, but they could have possibly ran away from their female side because they thought it was weak. I embrace it. And there's some trans men that, you know, they definitely feel like, well, you're not a man if you don't do X, Y, and Z. Well, wow, you're already conditioning yourself to think like a cis man, aren't you? You're already not the right kind of man. I see power. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I see power in feminine ways. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about in the last video, it was like, what other person you know is going to push another human being? Create life inside of them. Push it out. And raise it and do all of these things and have their body transform and have this wisdom and this knowledge. You're only going to get that from the feminine side. You know what I'm saying? So to respect that and to embrace that has been my journey. But for other men, they feel like they have to get completely away from that to be who they are. And if that's how they choose to look at me, they're not paying my bills. They're not in my life. We're not sleeping together. You choose to think whatever you want to think. Does that make me less of a man? Absolutely not. Right. Because guess what? We both started from the same place. So if you want to play tit for tat, you really want to go there? Yeah. It's like you.
Because I wonder if they were to have the surgery, do they still feel that part of them?
Yeah, they do. And a lot of people think that because you get the surgery that you'll feel a lot better. And sometimes you actually see trans people commit suicide after all of the surgery's done, because then they look at the mirror and they're like, you know what, this is not even what I really want. Like, I don't feel better looking down there now seeing a vagina or a penis instead of what I used to have. I actually kind of miss it. You feel a little bit of that, but
they're gonna be devastated.
Exactly. So now you're in the mirror. You may have a beard you didn't really want. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or you got boobs you don't really want anymore. Now you're like, oh, man, that didn't really make me a woman or a man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God.
Because all of those are just physical
I couldn't even imagine. My stomach started hurting just thinking about even being in that position.
Yo.
And, like, to realize that you are unhappy and then man.
And it ain't cheap because it ain't like there's insurance companies out there like, yeah, we'll cover trans surgery.
I'm probably going to be in that bathroom for a long time. I'm about to lay down on the floor.
It's on the floor. It's on the floor.
I'm about to lay down. I can't even handle this right now.
And, like, that's one thing that I made sure that I talked to myself about was, are you sure you want to go through with this lifestyle? Because you know what comes with it. And you have your moments of doubt, but that's just nothing but fear. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to remember the feeling of a freedom I feel, like how good when I go on the street and somebody says, hey, sir, hey, how you doing, man? What's up, bro? You know, I go shopping in the men's section. Nobody looking at me funny. Right. If I feel comfortable, I feel like myself. But it's all about everybody's self-journey. Everybody's just a little bit different. But the part is to educate yourself as a trans person and educate others. Like, don't let others walk around disrespecting you or not knowing what's going on.
I really wanted to be able to sit down with someone in the trans community that and was able to fluently ask questions and just kind of get a glimpse into your lifestyle, because I only know, I try to make sure that I'm not speaking on stuff that I'm not experienced in for real. I mean, that's where some stuff go wrong. Yeah. That's where opportunities are lost, where you can educate yourself. If I sat here and thought that I knew everything about the trans community, I'm not opening my mind up or educating myself. And I think that's super important, especially when it comes to respecting people that are walking next to you in the street, that are going to be where you're going to be working with. These are going to be your family members. Yeah. I mean, you're not going anywhere. You're a human being. Like, it's not like you just disappear and be like, trans community is gone. Like, we were here and then we left. Right. It's not like that. And I want people to be able to know how to educate themselves. Sit down with somebody. Like, and ask questions if you can, like, and ask if it's okay to ask questions, because I mean that's where it starts. Don't just start blurting out questions and stuff.
Please don't just slide my DM flag. So you still have a
don't do that. Like, ask that person, what's up? You know what? I don't understand. However you can get it out, I don't understand. I want to know more, whatever it is, and sit down and talk to somebody. It's really as simple as that.
Right.
Instead of walking around not knowing. Like, that's the part where you don't want to do, because you don't have to walk around uncomfortable.
Well, at least just understand it before you out here just spewing hate. At least, like, judge me because you don't like the way I wear my pants. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Don't just be out here miseducated and then spewing that anger for no reason. At least educate yourself. If you do nothing else, learn.
Educate yourself.
Please.
If you're going to hate somebody, at least hate them for an educated reason.
Please.
I really appreciate you coming through and just being transparent with me, because a lot of people don't do that shit. Yeah. A lot of people be kind of acting a little funny.
And you let me see what people be thinking about. So it was a learning experience for me, too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now I understand where y'all coming from when I get these random questions. Now I know how to handle them a little better. So I appreciate you.
Oh, you about to be on it. Like,
right.
It's like a heart to heart.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a show? It was a show called Heart to Heart.
Was it?
I think so. It came on in like late 90s, I want to say.
I was in the islands. So I don't know.
Okay, Google. Was there a show called Heart to Heart?
Wikipedia. Heart to Heart is an American mystery television series that premiered on August 25th, 1979 on ABC.
79. I didn't hit, I think 1 point. I'm like 1 point. I was gonna say 1 point like we in the millions or something. Man. But we coming for you millions. But I am at 1,100 minutes of watch time. I don't know exactly what all of that means, but apparently they've been watching me for 1,100 minutes. I am like, what in the world is going on here? So I appreciate y'all. You're definitely coming back on this channel. So this is not the last time that you're gonna see Carter. Oh my God. That red button that they put on there that they don't charge you for to press?
Free 99.
Free. That's free, and you can press it, and it turn gray. It be like you press it, it turn gray, and it be like subscribe, and you don't have to do anything after that.
That's it.
I promise you. Just hit the subscribe button so you can see what's coming on. All right, and we out.